Hey guys, and welcome back. Emky here with another Slime Rancher 2 video. So let's get right back into it. It's been a little bit since I've played this because I was out sick with a cold, of course. So losing one's voice is never fun. So let me just take a look around, make sure I know what I'm doing here. I think last I was at, I got my sweet little anglies. Yeah, look at them. Oh, they're so cute. Okay, so let's go around and explore. I'm kind of hoping I can find honey slimes if they have them. I think I saw them earlier when I had wandered into another area. So, yes. Pew. I should upgrade these at some point. Pew. Alright. But yeah, I should get some... some sort of upgraded plort collector would be great. That way I can just shoot in the plorts, or shoot in the food, and then collect the plorts from the plort collector, and I don't have to get bapped around by a bunch of adorables. I wonder if... can they stun me too? I wonder. That'd be interesting. Alright, let's just toss these in here. Alright. Perfect. Especially these dudes. These guys are bappers. They like to heckin' bap. Hold up. Now what is happening there? Cease. There we go. Apparently I'm having issues with my controller. Oh well. Toss them in there. Get some plots. Alright. Go over here. Grab some tabby stuff. There we go. Boop. Oh, they're hungry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me, please. They're so cute, though. Wonderful. Wunderbar. Okay, let's go over here. We're gonna upgrade these because I don't like it being bapped around. Yep. Perfect. Alright. Now, let's go back over... oh, I should probably get something to collect or hold the honey slimes. They have honeys. Do you think they'll have hunters? Hold on. So we have the chicken coop over here that I didn't fill. We have this right here. We have these two over here. Okay, so we have some options. Alright, okay. Then I'm gonna make... oh, hold on. I already have something over there. Stop it. Calm. Alright, so let's see. Let's go. Doesn't look like I have any plorts to collect at the moment. So let's go see if I can find them. Oh, I lost my sprint. Oh no! Do I have... can I look at the recipes? Ranch, world, science. Nope. Don't have that. Okay. Oh, I almost launched myself into the river. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. I still love this area. I love the slimes. I love how peaceful it is. It genuinely makes me so happy. Personally, I've always been a fan of just bunny rabbits in general, just because, like, when you first learn or, like, know of bunny rabbits, you just think, oh, floppity ears and they stomp their feet. And, like, I don't know if any of you guys have had this experience personally, but I learned that they actually do stomp their feet when they're frustrated. And that when they're very, very happy, they'll, like, run around in circles, get a case of the noomies, and fling themselves bodily up into the air and wiggle. Which I thought was the most adorable thing. I know it has a name, I can't remember what, but it's the most cute looking thing if you've ever seen it. And I think bunnies are just too pure for the world. Just, they're cute, they're messy if you don't know, like, they're not like cats and dogs where, like, you know, you can teach them to go to the bathroom outside. Maybe you can, but from what I learned, you don't teach them to go to the bathroom outside. They don't really have a litter box. What you have to do is you have to have, like, some sort of, it's like a box with hay in it, and you put their food near it, because what they'll do is they'll go to the bathroom while they're eating their pellets. And, like, so basically wherever the rabbit's food is, from what I learned, you have to put them near their bathroom as well. This area is really cool. Oh, no. That's a door, which means there's some way to open the door. Oh, I don't have my jetpack yet. Dang it. Ah, you know what? You know what? No, we're not doing that. We're getting a doggone jetpack, and we're gonna go through here. That's what we're gonna do. But I think it's really cute when rabbits get, like, you know, they're like, no, and they'll, like, tap their foot, or they'll do their floppies, or just, like, watching them interact with, like, any of their pet owners and so on. So if you're ever like, what kind of animal should I go learn about? Go learn about rabbits. They're precious. They're so cute. I absolutely adore them. And something you'll learn very quickly about me if you watch my channel is that I have a lot of random animal facts that are completely useless in my day-to-day life, but it's just a hobby of mine, just to, like, research and learn and look up how you care for and understand different species of animal. Like, I looked up coolie loaches, which are a miniature, like, very small, tiny fish that's a part of the eel family, or at least look like eels, from what I understand. And they are, like, maybe 2 inches long for the most part. They live in, like, groups. I believe they are bottom feeders. And they're very, sociable fish. Like, or let me rephrase, they get along well with a lot of different tank mates. And so, they're freshwater, they're, I think, a river fish of some sort. And it was just the most interesting thing for me, because I have never owned properly fish in my life. So I just wanted to search through, look up, understand, and just, like, educate myself on different species of animals, the proper amount of care, the different kinds of things you have to do for care. Like, I used to watch this show called Tanked, and I thought, oh, this is totally the amount of fish that you should keep in your fish tanks. This is a perfectly normal amount of fish that you can totally put in fish tanks. And I realized, or at least from what I could kind of understand, that they tended to overstock their fish tanks. Now, from what I gather in certain fishing communities or fish owning communities, when I read about this, so long as, like, no fish are attacking each other, there's a decent-ish amount of space, and so on, the fish are going to be okay so long as you keep the tanks clean, and you make sure that they're happy, and you make sure the species don't conflict with one another, you know, like, you know, a lionfish isn't about to go and eat your tiny little babies. But also, it was just one of those eye-openers, because I didn't know anything about owning fish. I had no idea what kind of things you needed. And I researched the most common thing that you could ever potentially learn of The most common fish that everybody sees on TV, that everybody owns at some point, or like that, at least I would assume that's the first fish everybody goes towards. Goldfish, you know? And on TV, stop it with the scooty doots. Oh my goodness, this controller. I'm gonna switch it out next video. I'm doing it. Resource harvester, cotton plorts, and newsbox. Okay, I can do that. Oop, as I ran into a wall. But I researched goldfish, because you see them on TV in these tiny little tanks that aren't even a gallon. Like, when you think of a gallon, or at least when I thought of a gallon, I didn't think they were as big as, like, what you look at when you look at a gallon tank. And so, a betta fish, which is much smaller, a betta fish needs a 5-gallon tank. And those things are like maybe 2 inches long if you squint. Those guys need a 5-gallon tank, and yet you see goldfish in like 1 gallon, or barely even that. And so I started to research them, and I found out, first of all, there's 2 different types of species of goldfish, unless you want to consider like the carp family in general, in which case there's like 3 pet types. There's koi, there's the common goldfish, and then there's fancy goldfish. And so what I ended up learning was that for 1 goldfish, just one, you need a 20 to 30 gallon tank. For 1. And like there's this misconception of like, oh, the goldfish, they'll grow to the size of whatever tank you put them in. And that's actually incorrect. That's based on a myth of the common goldfish. The common goldfish, they grow to be, I think they can grow to be like 2 feet long? It's been a while since I researched it, so some of these facts might be incorrect. But I remember that they actually just grow to be about 2 feet long, or longer, for the common goldfish species. And the reason that they, quote-unquote, grow to size is because they're actually just in such a small environment that their growth is actually stunted, which is really doggone sad when you think about it. And so I started researching, because at one point I had figured maybe I'll own a goldfish. They seem like an easy starter fish, you know, typical ignorant thought there. And I went and I researched them. I'm like, no, they need a 20-30 gallon tank for 1 fish. And they're a schooling type of fish, or a shoaling type of fish. I can't remember which one. But that basically means they live in groups. So I would need 3 goldfish, which turns it from a 20 to 30 gallon tank to a 40 to 50 gallon tank. And that's just to house the goldfish. If I wanted any other fish in there, I'd probably have to get a bigger tank. And that's just absolutely insane to me. Like, I love learning about this stuff because, I don't know, media tends to just overly hype, oh, you can keep them in a tiny little bowl. And like at pet shops, they'll sell those tiny little bowls. Like, you could totally put a fish in there, but come to find out, you need a filter, you need to like treat the water, you need to make sure they have the proper types of food and substrate, which is the bedding you put in the tanks. Because come to find out that goldfish are kind of like they suck up sand and then they spit it out. And when they spit out the sand, like, they'll suck up the food. Okay, wait, hold on. I got very, passionate, so I got a little, confused on what I was saying. All right. Goldfish, the way that they eat is they'll suck up the substrate that has the food, and they'll spit out the substrate, and they'll keep the food. So if they have a pebble substrate, which, again, people like to show in the movies and the shows. Give me the resource. Thank you. There we go. Got it. Now, how do I get that? Calm down. No. Calm down. Phosphor plorts and radiant ore. What's radiant ore? Okay. Let me go find that. Phosphor plorts I have. Radiant ore I need. So I'll go and get that. But I found out that with goldfish and the way that they work, if you have a pebble substrate, what happens is that sometimes, yeah, they'll eat the food, but sometimes they might accidentally eat the pebbles too. And so then you get this horrible thing called an impaction, which is this thing where in their stomachs and their intestines, if the food is too big and can't be digested, then it stays there. And so then they can't digest, they can't eat, they can't go to the bathroom, and then they end up just kind of dying. And it's really sad. And so I literally, like, it was the most mind-boggling thing when I watched it, and learned about these animals, because I'm like, wow. So first of all, on media, they show these goldfish in, like, too small of tanks. They show them eating flakes, which I don't think they're supposed to eat. I think they're supposed to eat something like worms, like bloodworms? I can't remember. I might be wrong on that one. You might want to look it up yourself. But they're in too small of tanks. Their substrate's wrong. I'm pretty sure they're being fed something wrong. And then they're being taught about wrong. And it's just so sad when you learn about them. Because what in the world, you know? Okay, I think there's a little bit of junk stuff going on with the audio, so I do apologize if you couldn't hear it that well. I think I fixed it now. And then we'll go on from there. But goldfish, how crazy is it that, like, the care that we learned about on TV, or just, like, from, like, pet stores even, can be completely different from what you look up and you learn. It's insane. And I actually do have pets, right? I have snakes. I have 4 ball pythons, right? And so I had no idea how to care for them at first. I had 0 idea before I got them. I didn't even know how, like, a snake, I didn't even know you could properly keep snakes as pets. I didn't even know that they could be pets. I had 0 idea or knowledge on how you would keep a snake, what you would feed a snake, or anything like that. Because I knew they were carnivorous, and I was like, oh, do you actually just feed them rats? Spoiler, yes, you can just feed them rats. That's actually the proper diet. You don't want to give them anything else. Like, at least with ball pythons, you don't want to give them anything else. You give them rats. Maybe mice. But rats is where it's at. And so when I started researching, like, proper snake care, like, so on and so forth, it's so strange. It's all, like, once I learned how to care for them, I went back to media, started watching TV, and I saw, like, a completely strange depiction. It felt alien to me, the depiction of, like, snakes in media, because they depict them as these, like, scary, violent, like, monstrosities that'll, they're totally gonna eat your face, and they're murderous, and they'll kill you if they have and when you actually learn, when you properly learn about them, you learn that they're actually little, like, anxiety noodles. They are bundles of anxiety and terror. And the only reason that they would try and bite you is because you have scared the ever-loving daylights out of them, and they have no idea who you are, what you are, why you're there, or what you're gonna do to them. For all they know, you could shoot lasers out of your eyes and spit acid from your mouth. They have no clue. And so they're like, ah! And they jump scare you to try and get you to leave them alone. Now, there are venomous ones that do the same thing, and yes, those are deadly, but it's still generally the same concept of somebody just jump scared a baby, the baby tried to smack you. Like, I can't ever look at snakes the same way after I've owned them. Because when I first knew about them, I thought, oh, this is a dangerous animal. They're totally gonna bite me if they see me. They're totally gonna, you know, be violent or act like how cats do when they don't like somebody and they'll smack you a bunch and, you know, or they'll claw at you and bite you and, like, you know, try and rip up your arm. Or, oh, they'll act like a dog, like a rabid dog that'll, like, you know, chase you or something. And you learn about snakes and you realize that their first line of defense is throwing their brain and teeth at you in hopes that you'll get scared and leave them alone. And if you don't, they're just kind of doomed. They're like, guess I'll die now, sort of thing. Like, and that to me is the most, like, heart-wrenching thing. I don't know, maybe it's because I own 4 ball pythons now and they all have such different personalities. But that is the most heart-wrenching thing to think. This creature right here, I've scared it enough that it is putting its own life at risk to try and get me to go away. And, like, there's, like, a difference between, like, its defensive mechanisms and if it thinks you're food. And if it thinks you're food, and I'm talking about ball pythons and pets, if it thinks you're food, then you must have handled some rats or mice, or you smell like their food, because they don't have good eyesight. And like, I've never, by any of my snakes, been bitten. I have been tagged, which is where like they lunge and they're like, go away please. I've been tagged by one of them. He's a sweetheart, but he got scared very easily and he was just like, ah, and panicked. But I've just, like, I've been scratched and bitten by cats, I've been bitten by dogs, I've been chased by rabid dogs, I've been, you know, I've been, like, mauled by cats, I've been attacked by chickens, but, like, snakes? Even wild ones. Like, the only thing they have to defend themselves is to run away. And, like, that just, I don't know. There's something so, they're so gentle, that species. Like, at least the ones that I've met and the ones that I've researched, and even like, because like I literally went on an education binge and I watched YouTube videos, I went and researched like, you know, is this like normal snake behavior? Are they just gentle for me? Like, what's going on, you know? Am I doing something special that's making them be so sweet and like da-da-da-da-da? No, they're just, that is literally just their nature, is just to be like sweet and shy and like, if they're not used to people, defensive, and it boggles my mind that an animal like that exists that is semi-intelligent. Like fish. Fish are just like, oh yeah, cool, what up? And they like swim away or something. But snakes are like, I love them. I love them. Even like, I'm sure there's somebody out there that's like, well, I bet you wouldn't be saying that if you got bit by a venomous one and died. No, I'd still be saying that. I'd probably apologize. Like, venomous snake bites me like a cobra or something. I doubt they would. Like, there's no way I'd put myself in that situation or like try and like aggressively terrorize a snake. Like, if I got bitten by a venomous snake, I'd apologize because I probably did something to terrify it. Like, most snakes that I've seen behavior-wise and learned about don't want to be near you. They don't want to attack you. They don't want to even see you. They'll leave. Like, I love them. Like, all my little scaly babies, I call them my puppies because their faces look like a little pupper face. I absolutely, where is this rainbow rock thing? I'm looking and I can't find it. But all of these beautiful little animals, like, and like everybody's, I used to be like a little afraid of them before I owned some and like knew people that taught me about them. I used to be afraid of them because of how media and, you know, certain religions and certain books and like so on just taught me like, you know, it's a symbol of evil or deception or whatever. And I'm starting to realize that, yeah, absolutely, there's some deception going on, and that deception is people will take in animals into their homes, like cats and dogs, that will bite them, scratch them, shred on them, they will pee on your furniture, they will poop on your floor, and they will love them, call them cute, and take photos on, like, put them on Instagram or something. But yet, there's snakes that literally all they'll do is a defensive tag if you scare the daylights out of them, and that is it. That's it. Like, at least with the ones that, like, you're supposed to properly own. I'm not talking about reticulated pythons or cobras or ones that you probably only professionals should own. I am talking about corn snakes or sand boas or ball pythons or, like, ones that, like, don't get bigger than 8 feet. Like, ball pythons get to be 6 feet long, and that's how long they are as an adult. And you may be thinking, oh man, 6 feet long, that's a pretty big snake. No, it's really not. They don't get as big as a human being does when they get 6 feet tall. They just get 6 feet long. So like, I have had family members I had to defend my little babies from because they just didn't get how sweet they are. And I love my babies. I love my babies. They're so sweet. They're so gentle. They're absolutely precious. I have 2 girls that are so inquisitive and 2 boys that are so shy. Like, oh my goodness. I have such sweethearts. And one of my boys, he, like I said, he, like, nipped me once or twice. But that's because he is, like, you know, he's had a rough childhood. No. It's just that, like, you know, every snake has its own personality. Just like how some dogs are more skittish, some cats are more, like, outgoing, and they get the noomies at 3 a.m., where other ones are just like, nah, I'm just cool with sleeping here. You know? Whereas, like, some snakes are, like, outgoing. Some of them are like, oh my god, is it food time? No, alright, it's hold time, sweet. I'm gonna crawl it, like, I'm gonna slither up on your head and crawl into your hair, and, like, they're so sweet. In case you didn't know, I adore my animals. I spoil them rotten. I adore learning about them. I love learning more things about their personalities, like KJ, he gets scared of his own food if it's a little too big, and then he's like, no, that's too big of a rat for me, you gotta give me a smaller one, please. And then you get Tifa, who's just like, is it dinner time? And she'll, like, poke her head out, and she's like, ooh, that's dinner. And she'll, like, eat it real quick. And then there's Ganon, who, well, he was the one that was a little nippy. There's Ganon, who's like, oh god, I'm terrified, wait, hold on, that's dinner. And, like, he'll eat his food, or he'll, like, when he opens up, he, like, curls around, like, he'll curl around and gently and tentatively explore. And it's just, And then there's Midna, who I call her my Southern Belle, because she's just like, I do declare that I would like to explore around here. And, just, if you're hesitant about getting a snake, don't be. Just get one. Just, if you're going to take care of it and love them and give them the proper care that they need, then just don't hesitate anymore. Just get one. Just get a baby and love that child. And I promise you will never regret it. And, like, seriously. I adore them. Like, I've had cats, I've had dogs, I've had rats, I've had the chance to take care of chickens, and so on, and I will just say this right now. The nicest animal I have ever owned are ball pythons. I adore them. They're absolutely perfect in every way. And I don't care if anyone wants to argue with me. I will just never change that viewpoint, and I will love my children. They're so sweet. They're so precious. I can't find this shiny ore anywhere. I have no idea where it would be. Well, maybe I'll look that up. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to me rant about my animals and just my random hobbies and interests. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and leave a comment. Give me a subscription too if you want to see more content like this. Tell me what games you want to see me play. And I will see you later.